As a reminder of our purpose, it is important to start the district council meeting with the reading of the mission statement. To read the mission statement of the district, it is my pleasure to call upon Toastmaster Christine Ross. Christine, are you up? Can you hear?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Jean.
Please help me welcome Christine Ross.
It is the mission of District 40 that we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence.
Thank you, Christine. Just to go over some of the standing rules of the district council and this meeting. And it's great to see everyone's faces. Good to see everybody. The district council is made up of the district executive committee, which consists of yours truly, the district director, immediate past district director, program quality director, club growth director, public relations manager, administration manager, finance manager, division directors, area directors, and each club president and vice president of education in good standing of their club. Because this is a virtual vote, we may take time for a recess for those I wish to confer with in order to proceed with a section of the meeting. If this occurs, you may talk among yourselves, but please keep it down and be respectful of others. I know you will. And then we'll come back to the meeting. Because registration at a physical credentials desk prior to the meeting is not required today, we will use the count of the number of individuals who registered to vote. The quorum is represented by registering the members in the virtual polling mechanism that we have, election runner, that was sent out to the district council to the email addresses requested in the registration. If a voting officer's email address is invalid and the voting button in the email is kicked back, then the vote will not be received if a new ballot cannot be resent before the voting period ends. Okay. Because we are voting on several items, there will be several separate votes. Are there any questions to this procedure? And I will pull up my electronic version so I can look at you. Any questions?
I'm sorry, Jean, I have to be honest, I did not listen to everything here.
Okay.
So after the registration confirmation, are we supposed to have another email to confirm the voting right there?
Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but all of the links were sent out in one email. Is that correct? Steve Lanham.
Okay, the individual links to, the Christine Ross, the administration manager.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Christine.
Do that. And when the voting starts, you may receive another email with that information, but Christine did that.
I stand corrected. Christine Ross would send out the election ballots.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Jean,
you're correct.
The club officers should have received an email. If you are voting because you are a district officer, those votes have not been sent.
Okay. So is everyone clear on that? District officers, you'll be receiving your vote here momentarily. All right, Christine?
Jean, this is Jessica Robinson, Area 82 Director and Club Officer, President and VP of Education for Club 472 Cincinnati Toastmasters. I have a question.
Okay. Yes, Jessica.
My question is, throughout the meeting, if we have a question, are we putting that into the chat, or are we going to ask permission to speak as we normally would in person?
I would prefer that we move it to the chat. We're going to be monitoring, our public relations manager is going to be monitoring the chat, and we'll have moments in which we will have parts on the agenda where we can address some of the questions that are coming up.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? I'm going to go into the standing, several items pertaining to the standing rules at this time, so this may help as well. First, any person addressing the chair shall state their name, their club name, and their club number. Please do so slowly so the district administration manager can make note of the information. All motions will be made in the positive, not the negative. All motions will start with I move and state the motion, or I second the motion and state the motion. Only delegates holding a ballot may address the committee and have their input recorded prior to the vote. As the meeting chair, I cannot make a motion. However, to keep the meeting flowing, I will indicate when it is appropriate for a motion to be made. That is your opportunity to rise and make the appropriate motion. Our parliamentarian for today's meeting is past International Director Jim Vogley, DTM. Our District Administration Manager, who will be recording the meeting today, is Toastmaster Christine Ross, DTM. Our timer today is Assistant District Director Lisa Lee, DTM. Our counters today will be Rick Sebring, Toastmaster Rick Sebring, DTM, and I believe also assisting will be our Public Relations Manager, Steve Lanham. And our credentials chair is past District Governor Steve Grant, DTM. At this time, I'd like to move to the next item on the agenda, which is adoption of the agenda. Now, the proposed agenda has been published on September 13th and distributed to the District Council via email. A motion to adopt the agenda is now in order. Also, let me back up. An agenda has been placed in the chat box as well. Did everyone get able to see the agenda?
Gene, for people that joined after you,
Okay.
it's not there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Let me see. Steve, could you place that in the chat box? Steve Lanham. I'll move on with the.
I'm ready to go with it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. I do have a slight change to the agenda, and our parliamentarian, I conferred with our parliamentarian, and this is allowable. I want to make sure we'll wait until the agenda has been placed again in the chat. And I can't see that. Let me know when you've done that, John, because I cannot see that on my screen.
Sure, that's done.
Thank you kindly. You will see the credentials report at 1:15. I'm proposing that we move the credentials section or delay the credentials section and replace it with the reports of the district officers. So we're going to move the reports of the district officers up and move the credentials committee report down because we're very close to a quorum. So it's going to hopefully give us some time. All right. So with that being said, any questions on that? So at this time, we will have a report, the reports of our district officers. And we'll start, our first report is the Toastmasters International Annual Business Meeting. Please help me welcome none other than our Program Quality Director, Toastmaster David Hill. David.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. On this report, I'm actually going to have my Assistant Program Quality Director, DTM Gail Kelson, who will give that report for me. So Gail, if you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see it.
Excellent. On behalf of David Hill, our Program Quality Director, I would like to share with you his report from the International Business Meeting. I'll start off first by sharing the deck that provides the information in terms of our organizational structure. And then I will begin with the proposals that we were voting on during the International Convention. There was Proposal A. It had to do with board composition. And I will also say that at the completion of David's presentation, we will drop the deck into the chat so that you can use the links that are provided to Toastmasters International to get more detail in terms of what was presented. So the Proposal A dealt with board composition, and it was the idea that you would be able to modify the percentage of leaders that would be representing a specific district. That particular proposal did fail. The next proposal was the statement submission for international disciplinary proceedings. It changed the time period from 96 hours in which information could be provided to the committee to conduct and review a hearing to 48 hours. That proposal passed unanimously. In terms of our new 2020-2021 Board of Directors, our new international president is Richard Peck. This particular matrix shows the additional leaders in the order in which they were designated for their office. You will also see an asterisk beside some of the international leaders because the voting indicated on the preferential ballot that they actually won the election. I would also like to point out on this particular deck that our region is region number 6. And we are happy to say that Melissa McGavick is actually our international director. Many of us may remember her from having come to some of our previous deck meetings where she made a presentation. And then finally was the 2020 results of the international public speakers. And the winner was Mike Carr, followed by second place, which was Linda Marie Miller and Linda McLean for third place. I'll pause here and David will speak a little bit later on during the business meeting with regard to additional updates as it related to the Program Quality Directors Group. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Gail. I appreciate it. I'll turn it back over to our District Director, Gene Bailey.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Gail, for that excellent report. Appreciate that. Our next report will be from our Public Relations Manager, Steve Lanham. Steve?
Yes, sorry for the delay. I'm previously working on some issues behind the scenes, but yes. My question to you today is, how do you generate a buzz about Toastmasters? Now, fellow district officers and club leaders, That's the question before us now, especially in the time of the pandemic. Now, public relations is about generating a buzz, getting people to notice us. And the best way to do that, I found, is through word of mouth. But how do we create that buzz when we can't get out among people and we're cloistered in our homes due to this pandemic? Now, many of us are looking to use social media to do that. And I encourage each club in the district to have a club website and keep it up to date. Ditto for Facebook, and Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube, any of the social media platforms that you might want to think about using. But you have to keep it fresh. Just like Subway, it has to be fresh. Now, it's even better if you convince club members to repost what your club might post on Facebook, Instagram, and the like. Now, that's very important because that way we actually have social word of mouth, because then individuals are spreading the word. That means one post by the club could be multiplied 15, 20 times, however many club members you have. And that gets the word out even more. So let me give a shout out to our Facebook coordinator this year, Donnie Cryer. She's doing a great job of regularly posting on our Facebook page for the district. So go there and find things to repost if you need something to repost yourself. Now back to keeping it fresh. Now, at the district level, we are redesigning and revamping the District 40 website. I'm really excited about this, and you'll be seeing changes in the next couple months, if not sooner. Now, we're really excited about what we have planned because we weren't keeping it fresh ourselves. So thanks to our web team, led by John Humpert and Arlene McMahon and Randy Kinney and Jennifer Elsterman, Scott Holohan, and Michael Pope are all helping out with that effort. There's also Meetup. Now, if you don't have a Meetup account, I encourage you to get one. And here's the best thing of all. It's free for you. The district will pay for that. And that's a great way to get your message out, get your exposure as a club. We are looking for a Meetup coordinator. I'm handling that right now. But if you're interested, let me know at publicrelations@D40Toastmasters.org. Now, these are challenging times. It's very challenging to get the word out. So I encourage you to leverage social media for all it's worth. Mr. District Director.
Thank you, Steve. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome report. Our next report will be given by our baby of the team, we call him affectionately, our Club Growth Director, Toastmaster Don DeHoff. Help me welcome Don.
Well, thank you, Gene. Can everyone hear me? I'm looking for an, okay, I got a nod there somewhere. All right, let's share my screen real quick. I'm gonna try to go through this. What's going on? First of all, thank you. Thank you for your hard work on behalf of your division, area, and the members. Division directors and AD teams are the keystone which supports the district. It's impossible to say this enough, but thank you. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing in the district. Every club is facing challenges, but I have heard so many stories of clubs persevering and recommitting to their members and a positive club experience. I've also had conversations with Toastmasters International directors, and I'm confident they are hearing us say that clubs are struggling, usually through no fault of their own, which I think is very key. I'm hopeful that we will see more messaging soon from TI about changes that they can make to support clubs through this renewal cycle. Now, we have been debating about the role that the district leaders play in reaching out to individuals to encourage them to renew. It's a challenge because we're not the ones who have a relationship with the members. We want area directors to encourage club leaders to know why each and every non-renewing member has made that decision. And we want club leaders to have that ongoing conversation with members. However, we know from past experience that there are a few members from each area who say, well, I didn't know it was renewal time, or I just forgot. Or more key, they say, I wasn't going to renew, but after having a conversation with you, I'd like to recommit to my Toastmasters journey. So reaching out to members works. And if no one contacts that member, we may have missed an opportunity to help them stay on their journey. So area directors, have this conversation with your clubs, and club leaders, have conversations with your members, and look for more communication from the district soon. I'm happy to report that we have several new clubs in the pipeline, and Extension Manager Sean Gallagher and his team is hard at work reaching out to the leads. Please help us by recommending individuals who can serve as sponsors and mentors for these new clubs. Since many clubs are forming virtually, this is a great time for individuals from all over the district to help out with this. While it is true that we may have many struggling clubs in the district, we're also fortunate to have very strong clubs. Retention Manager Diamond Debbie Lindsay, who's on this call, and her team have come up with a brilliant way to leverage this asset of strong clubs with the Buddy Club program. Essentially, we put together a program to partner clubs together so that the shared knowledge and resources can result in 2 stronger clubs. We are providing incentives to clubs which sign up as big buddies and for hitting some regular milestones in their relationship with their little buddies. When communications come out around this program, please encourage club leaders, encourage your members to sign up. I'm sorry, clubs, please sign up as big buddies for this program. Lastly, every single program we have to help the district needs volunteers to step up, raise their hand, and say, I will lead that initiative. Hopefully, they'll even be doing that as part of a Pathways HPL project. Please get the word out that there are a plethora of leadership opportunities for new and experienced Toastmasters alike. Have them reach out to their AD, have them reach out to club leaders. Please reach out to me. And oh boy, I've kind of gotten behind on my presentation, but here's my email address. Toastmasters is an entire organization of individuals who have shown the determination to take control of their own future. We have the drive to weather this crazy storm, but there's much work to do and always a need for hands to do it. Thank you. Back to you, Gene.
Awesome, Don. Let's hear it for our Club Growth Director. Way to go. The Buddy program sounds really, really exciting. Looking forward to that. Next, we have our Program Quality Director. Back again is none other than David Hill. David?
Thank you, Gene. I have Gail putting up the screen real quick. While I'm waiting on her to do that, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I want to echo what DeHoff said, and thank you so much. Thank you for just taking out the time to be here today, but more importantly, thank you for still finding value in Toastmasters, and really that is what it's all about. We definitely want to make sure that we are giving you all that we possibly can as your district leaders for your value, your bang for your buck. All right, Gail, do you have the slide?
I actually have it up. Are you guys able to see my screen?
No.
Okay, let's do it one more time. How about now?
All righty, perfect.
Cool.
We can go to the next one, Gail.
Absolutely.
As you all know, we do have fall recognition ceremony that'll be coming up soon. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on the agenda. Next slide. Now, what I really would like to talk about is a couple of the things that we have going on right now. Currently, I'm looking for a club quality chair. And basically what that is that's someone who will help out the clubs improve the quality of their meetings. Someone who can come and think outside the box and offer some suggestions to get those clubs meeting and having fun and not necessarily doing everything that we do on a regular basis as far as having meetings. Someone's mic is open. John, can you do one thing? Great, thank you. If anyone's interested in that, please reach out to myself or Gail Kelson, and we can talk more about that. The program quality team has 3 incentives that we are doing this year. We have the Strive for 5, and that's actually our theme. And really what we're trying to do is just get every club to strive for 5 DCP goals. Think about it this way, and I know a lot of times people will say, well, why do we even need to accomplish these goals? Well, this helps you with understanding and knowing the health of your club. It gives your members an opportunity to accomplish whatever goals they're trying to do, whether it's within pathways or leadership. And I want you guys to think about it this way. Realistically, ladies and gentlemen, 4 of the 5 goals are from goals 10 through 7. If you guys can work on those 4 goals, then your 5th goal is an educational goal. And realistically, you always have at least one person that's going to give you an educational award. Wouldn't it be great if all 163 of our clubs were distinguished or better? We know there's going to be clubs that are always going to be President's Distinguished. We know that there's going to be clubs that are always going to be Select Distinguished. But ultimately, what my vision is that I'm hoping that we get those clubs that have been borderline right there, should have been distinguished, but they weren't, or the clubs that haven't been distinguished before. You will also be able to get a streamer that says that you're distinguished, that you can display on your club banner. And that's a great marketing tool when you have members, or excuse me, prospective members visiting you and they see that you're distinguished, Select Distinguished, or President's Distinguished. So please keep that in mind. Also, we have the Spectacular 7. This is a continuation from last year with our previous program quality director and our distinguished district director, Gene Bailey. So basically, it's the same thing. 7 officers trained at both TLIs. If your club qualifies, there will be an incentive for you. And then lastly, we have our club fitness program. And this one's going to be a little bit more in depth. And the reason being is that we really want to strengthen our clubs, make it so that our clubs can sustain no matter what's going on. We all know right now that because of this pandemic, it has been a challenge. But I promise you that if you guys follow the guidelines in this club fitness, your club will be strong and will be able to weather any storm that is thrown at us. I'd like to say again, listen, thank you all. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for everything that you're doing. Please continue the good work. Encourage your members to start reaching out to their family and friends throughout the world. We're not limited anymore to Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Now we can have members from all over the world. So start talking to those, your friends, your families, your co-workers from different places and encouraging them to just visit a Toastmasters club. If it happens to be your club, great. If it happens to be in a club within District 40, fantastic. But ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to help people become a better you. And that's what it's all about. With that, I'd like to turn it back over to our District Director, Gene Bailey.
All right. Thank you, David. Awesome. Let's hear for our Program Quality Director, Mr. David Hill. Well, I'm excited to be with you today. I don't have any PowerPoint slides, but I did learn a concept that I'd like to share with you from one of our workshop chairs who was teaching the principle from speaker to trainer. And in that workshop, I learned this principle: you become the point of power. The message is with you. And I'm learning that in my Toastmasters journey, struggling from glossophobia to becoming a district director. That's what fuels me every day, is looking for people like me who are fearful when it's time to speak in public. And we have a process. You have your hands on a system that can free anyone who wants to be free in public speaking and leadership. I want to share just a couple of principles, a couple of points that I'm excited about because of this team. And I'm going to give some kudos about this team, but I want to give some land benchmarks that we're working on. Number one is the district budget. I'm excited that even though through this pandemic that we're moving through, we're on track to submit our district budget to Toastmasters International before September 30th. So within this week, we will have that budget submitted. Number two, we're working on, also we're ahead of track or ahead of schedule for our district success plan. And kudos go out to our quality or our quad team in District 40. We create the terminology quad in addition to our trio, because our public relations manager is an important piece and component of our leadership team. And so thank you, Quad, because without you, this would not be possible. And to our top 8 as well in this development. So we're on track for our district success plan as well. And then also, I want to share, I think possibly our program quality director might go into this a little later, but I want to share another success that we had a couple weeks back, and we'll have another opportunity this coming Saturday, September 26th, and that's our drive-throughs. And in District 40, we're setting the pace just like you did last year for going online with our speech contest, and districts are asking us right now, how did we do that? How did you do that? And so I'll be coming to some of the leadership, some of you who stepped forward, especially our 2 co-chairs last year, if you recall, you know who you are, Lavinia Boyer and Liz Foster, district or division directors. Will be calling upon you because other districts are asking who did not decide to do that, how we did it. And so I wanted just to want to let you know that this is an opportunity for all of us to step up, as our program quality director mentioned, to step up into leadership. Step up into leadership by encouraging. I'm encouraging you to continue toward the vision and continue toward developing your voice and continue toward vitality, those 3 V's that we shared earlier this year. I want to thank all of the area directors and of course our division directors for your hard work and for your dedication. Keep on encouraging others. I do have a couple announcements, and I'm gonna go into depth in these in a few moments. But we are looking for 3 more area directors and 2 in Division G and 1 in Division H. So if you know of other Toastmasters who want to step forward in leadership, this is a great opportunity to do so. Please see Division Director Scott Green for Division G, Division Director Lavinia Boyer, Division H. And then also, if you are interested or have a background in finance or accounting, I am looking for an audit chair and an audit committee chair for District 40. Please see me or our finance manager, Lila Munsey. That concludes my report. Awesome. Awesome to our leadership team for your adaptability, your flexibility, hence our table topics, which teaches us what again? Extemporaneous and impromptu speaking, correct? Well, these are the moments. These are the moments when it's necessary because we're in a time, we're in a culture that requires us to think quickly and to adapt. Next on our agenda, as we moved and flipped our agenda, thank you for your flexibility. We're going to go back now to our credentials. And I'm going to pull up and here. Bear 1 second. Okay. We're next on the agenda is the presentation of the Credentials Committee report. May I have the Credentials Committee report from past District Governor, Distinguished Toastmaster, Steve Grant. Steve?
Mr. District Director, at this time, District 40 has 164 eligible clubs. The number of available club ballots is then 328. The number of district executive committee officers is 55. All total, that's an available 383 ballots. The quorum for the council is 1/3 of the club presidents and vice presidents of education, in that there are 164 clubs in District 40 as of yesterday's reports. The quorum would be 110. And the math behind that is 164 times 2, which equals 328 divided by 3. And that's how we come up with a quorum of 110. The Credentials Committee has certified the presence of 96 club presidents and vice presidents of education, as well as 35 members of the District Executive Committee. District Director Bailey, we do not have a quorum. Since we do not have a quorum, we will need to extend the voting period for the 2020-2021 district budget and ratification of the appointed officers to next Saturday, September 26th. We are having some technical difficulties with getting the election runner in place, even though it's my understanding that we do need to vote if we have a quorum or not. If the parliamentarian would care to chime in on that, or our immediate past district director, that would be great. This is my report, Mr. District Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman of our Credentials Committee. Since we do not have a quorum, it will be, as our Credentials Chair has stated, we will extend the voting to next Saturday, September 26th. Are there any questions on the Credentials Committee report? Yes, I'm hearing a question. Go right ahead.
That may have been an audio blip.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
There's a chat in the chat box about can we vote now?
Mr. Credentials Chair, or maybe it should be the Parliamentarian Chair.
Yes, this is Steve Lanham, the Public Relations Manager and Election Runner aficionado. I would encourage people not to vote until we have a chance to discuss the issues at hand. So the mechanism to vote is out there, but I encourage you not to vote until we actually discuss the budget, and we will have a test vote before that.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. Our next item on the agenda is the adoption of the annual business meeting minutes. The minutes of May 2nd, 2020, District 40 business meeting were published on September 5th and distributed to the District Council via email. Since you've had the opportunity to read them, we will not read them aloud. Are there any changes to the minutes? And you can place that in the chat, or you can come off of mute and verbalize them for our administration manager. Are there any changes to the minutes from May 2nd?
Jean, this is Christine Ross. I believe there's an error in the minutes on page 13.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
If you look at page 13, where the numbers are discussed for voting, the first vote, 138 votes, 53 plus 48 plus 37 is indeed 138. But in the second vote, it said 138 votes were cast, but 72 and 56 do not sum to 138. I believe there's an error in the minutes.
Thank you for bringing that to the attention of the council. Toastmaster Ross. Thank you, Christine. Hopefully our administration manager has so noted that. Right. Okay. Are there any additional changes, additions to the minutes?
District Director Bailey, this is
Yes.
the immediate District Director. To address Christine's comment, we did record the business meeting last year, so we will be able to review the recording to make sure that error is corrected.
Thank you, immediate past District Director Schultze. Thank you kindly. Are there any additional changes, addition to the minutes? Hearing none, we will proceed to the next agenda item, and that is the ratification of appointments for 2020-2021 district officers. For the Office of Administration Manager, we have one appointee, Christine Ross. Christine, will you come off of, will you please put your camera on and please wave. Okay. For the Office of Finance Manager, we have one appointee, Lila Munsey. Lila, will you please come off or put your camera on? Wait. Hey.
Hello.
For the Office of Logistics Manager, we have one appointee, Wendy Simmons. Sorry. Wendy, will you please put your camera on and please wave? If you can. All right. All right. I'm kind of blind here. I don't see every.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay. Great. For the Office of Public Relations Manager, we have one appointee, Steve Lanham. Steve, will you please wave? Okay. I will ask now that everybody close your cameras except for the district officers in question.
Okay.
Right. Christine, Lila, Wendy, and Steve, do you accept the responsibilities of the office for which you are appointed? And will you serve the district in its mission? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you. You may turn your cameras off at this time. For the Office of Area Director, we have 38 appointees. Will each of you please make yourselves known online? If you could turn your cameras on, please. And we'll wait a few moments for everyone to get on. John Humpert, if you could give me the go-ahead when it appears that everyone is on.
We have 14
Okay,
cams open.
gotcha.
Sorry, Gene, you wanted everyone's cam open or who?
Oh, everyone that would like to have their camera open.
Thank you.
I think we can go ahead. All right. For the Office of Area Director, we have 38 appointees. Thank you for making yourselves known. Do you accept the responsibilities of the office for which you have been appointed? And will you serve the district in its mission? If so, answer, I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. You may now turn your cameras off at this time. A motion to instruct the district administration manager to cast one ballot for the 2020-2021 appointees is now in order. This motion will require a second.
John Humpert, Voice of Independence, Club 1153372. So moved.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Toastmaster Humpert. A motion has been made. Do we have a second? Do I have a second on this motion?
Gail Kelson, Podium Rose, Toastmasters 3885. I second the motion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kelson. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, it's been moved and seconded to instruct the administration manager to cast one ballot for the 2020-2021 District 40's appointed officers. Now, at this time, all delegates who are able to vote, are we ready? Or do we not have to vote at this for the election runner? Steve, just want to make sure.
When we have the election runner ready to go, and I think we're pretty close, we should go ahead and vote. Now, in order to make the quorum, we will extend the voting out, but it will be our election runner process that will connect with those people downstream. So it should be safe, exact, and secure. Does that answer the question, Mr. District Director?
I think it does. Thank you.
Gene,
Thank you, Mr. Credentials Chair. Yes.
there's been a
Yes,
couple
Steve.
questions I'd like to address. One was, will people need to wait to vote and know anybody on the meeting today can go ahead and vote via election runner, and then your vote's done, and we will not need another meeting to vote. As Steve Grant mentioned, the voting will be open and people can go in and vote at their leisure after this meeting. I know that some of the area directors and division directors don't have their voting credentials, and we'll get those out to you after this meeting. And whenever you get those, you can go ahead and vote. But people here today, you can vote today.
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Public Relations Manager. Thank you for the clarification.
Gene, John Humpert here.
Yes, John.
It sounds like also we won't be announcing any results from these votes cast. That would be also maybe helpful, so that because it's open for that long period of time, there's no point in reporting results.
Okay, correct. Gotcha.
If you think of it, it's just like voting by mail now in the real world.
Right. Okay. Okay. Just for the record, I'll continue and we will extrapolate those areas. So I will now instruct the district administration manager to cast a single ballot for these offices. Congratulations to the new officers. Okay. Again, that vote will extend. Next item on the agenda is the report of the Audit Committee, end of year audit 2020. And to provide our audit report this year will be none other than our District 40 Finance Manager, Toastmaster Lila Munsey, DTM. Lila?
Thank you, Gene.
You're welcome.
Each year, in compliance with TI policy, the district director shall appoint an audit committee that shall conduct an interim mid-year and an end of fiscal year June 30th audit. The report of the audit committee for end of fiscal year as of June 30th, 2020 will be given by the audit committee chair once the audit has been completed. Due to the pandemic, all expense categories were under budget except for the speech contest. And we believe that this report will come out well once it is completed. Thank you, District Director.
Thank you, District Finance Manager. Thank you, Lila. Are there any amendments? Are there any questions? All right. Hearing none, we will move to our next item on the agenda, which is related, and that's the presentation of the district budget. Each year, the district director is required to submit the district budget to the finance department at Toastmasters International for their approval. As I mentioned earlier, a copy of the proposed budget was published 2 weeks ago on September the 5th and distributed to you, the district council, by way of email. Our district finance manager, Lila Munsey, will now cover the budget. Lila?
Thank you, District Director. Our overall financial condition is extremely strong. We started the year with $44,322 in the account. We were required to retain $18,416 at the end of the year, leaving $25,905 available to spend. As you know, we are a nonprofit organization and are encouraged by Toastmasters International to spend our money to provide value to all of our members. So we should not carry over net profits each year. A new TMI policy requires the district reserve account hold no more than 125% of our minimum retention. That means that beginning July 1, 2020, our new minimum retention became $14,079 and our maximum retention became $17,599. With the lower retention limits, we hold almost $6,000 over our allowable maximum as a cushion for unexpected expenses. We will need to reduce this. Is the table available for viewing, District Director?
Oh, yes, I'm pulling that up here now so that I have that for us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There we go. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? Lila, can you see it?
It's pretty small.
Okay.
That's okay. I've got it elsewhere.
Okay, let me see if I can increase it. Is
No.
that better? Okay. Better?
You
Gene, also
the
click
problem is
that triangle on the right.
The triangle on the right.
Yeah,
Okay.
right in your organized pages, that tool, just click that triangle.
I know it's right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
It's on the page here. It's on this page. Oh,
Yeah, it's a minor thing.
Oh, you got it. Thank you.
okay, because we really want to see the
Thank you, John.
2020, 2021 side of the document. If you look at this table, our proposed 2020, 2021 budget, which is side by side with our approved 2019, 2020 budget from last year. The final column on the right is the difference, the delta between the two budgets. I'm not sure we can see that, District Director, can we? Can we see the far right column that has the delta? There we go. Thank you. In this column, if a number is blue or a positive number, the 2020, 2021 budget is higher for that category than last year's budget. If a number is red and in parentheses, the new budget is lower than last year's budget. Overall, we are projecting $40,014 less total revenue this year than we received last year. All categories of revenue showing significant differences include the 23.5% decrease expected in the membership dues. There are no conference revenues expected since the conference will be done virtual. And there's a 64.2% decrease expected in store revenues. Last year, we beefed up our store inventory, but due to the pandemic, we are projecting only a third of the sales we projected last year. This year, we are required to provide a balanced budget where our planned expenses equal our anticipated revenue. Last year, we were able to budget expenses of $128,610 with anticipated revenues of $98,664 for an expected loss of $29,946, which you'll see at the bottom of the page. This year, total expenses are budgeted to be $58,647, more than 54% or $69,963 below last year. With the exception of the TLI category and the two new categories for club growth and recognition, the biggest differences are in the administration and travel categories. The administration expenses are almost $5,000 more than this year, mostly due to the TMI allocation being moved from the other category and depreciation being brought into administration. Due to the pandemic and the decrease in travel, along with the splitting of travel into mileage, food, meals, and lodging, the total for travel has decreased by almost $13,000 for this year, with a small portion due to fewer in-person deck meetings. There's also less of a need for lodging expenses this year since the district's executive committee meetings are virtual sessions. We provided this draft to the Toastmasters International Finance Department, and they have approved our draft recommendation pending this district council's approval. Overall, the district remains in strong financial condition and is prepared to fulfill the district mission. That is my report, District Director. Are there any questions?
Fantastic, Lila. Let's hear it for our finance manager.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Are there any questions on the budget as presented? And again, we just wanted to present it for the district council. Again, this vote will continue, as we've stated, due to the lack of quorum. But are there any questions on the budget as presented?
Who changed the requirement that you can carry over a certain amount of money or not?
That was part of the Toastmasters International made that policy.
I'm sorry,
change.
who asked the
sorry.
question? I
Yes,
need
I'm
that for the
sorry.
minutes.
Yes.
The person who asked and your club, please.
This is Judy Smith, VP of Education, Club 8416, sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Judy.
Thank you for the answer.
Well, are there any other questions?
We will also provide this table in the chat. I just couldn't do it quick enough, but we'll drop that in the chat too before end of day. And then we'll also make a link so that everyone can receive it. Well, actually, we'll email it to everybody and we'll drop it in the chat too. Are there any other questions on the budget? A motion, hearing none, a motion to accept the report as presented is now in order.
Harold Thomas, Columbus Whitehall, number 3002, so moved.
Thank you, Toastmaster Thomas. Can I get a second? Is there a second?
Toastmaster Gail Kelson, Podium Pros 3885. I second that motion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kelson. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I note there is nothing in the chat.
Okay, yes, and that's due to the district director. I'll do that. I'll make sure to get that in there for you.
No, I was just referring to comments and questions. There are no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. Hearing none, it's been moved and seconded to approve the budget as presented. And again, that vote will continue until next Saturday. So all delegates can now vote through next Saturday. The next item on the agenda, as we are moving through the agenda, is unfinished business. So let's move to that. And we have no unfinished business that was carried forward from our last business meeting in May. Next item on the agenda is new business. It should be noted that we will not have any unfinished business at this meeting. This is in accordance with district's parliamentary authority, which indicates that any business unfinished at the time of adjournment in meetings like our district council falls to the ground and can be introduced at the next session as new business. Do we have any new business at this time?
Gene, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the drive-through since you brought it up.
Yes, Mr. Program Quality Director.
First of all, everyone, thank you so much. This idea actually came from our club growth director, even though it appears that I'm getting all the credit. I definitely want to let everyone know that Don DeHoff kind of came up with the idea. We as a quad just expanded on it, but it really was his idea, and I'm so glad that he thought about it. The premise really was just for the quad to be able to go to various divisions and say hello to everyone initially. And then we thought about it, and we thought it might be better if we bring out some of the awards. That way, no one has to wait for their awards, such as their some of the incentive awards, I'm sorry, and the Triple Crown. Also, we were looking to do the DTM, but we have to wait. We need some more DTM medals. This drive-through is completely voluntary. It's not required for people to come. Again, it's just the top 4 officers in the district who are just coming out to say hello, tell you guys we truly appreciate all of you, and then have a few minutes to fellowship where we're passing out awards and taking pictures. Again, it's a great thing. I can tell you that Lexington and Kentucky thought it was really good. It is something that we're really looking forward to doing next weekend in Dayton and in Columbus. And then we'll wrap up with Charleston. But again, please come out, stay in your car. We're definitely practicing social distancing. The quad will have on masks and gloves as we pass awards out. We'll say hello to everyone. The locations have already been distributed out. We have the Vandalia Senior Center and Gahanna Lincoln High School. You'll be able to see us both at both locations really easily, so you don't have to worry about hunting us down. I'll turn it back over to our District Director, Gene Bailey. Thank you again.
Thank you, our Program Quality Director. Thank you, David. Other announcements, and I want to open it up. Are there any announcements from the District Council that you want to share at this time? Any announcements? And then I have a couple.
Gene, John Humpert,
yes.
District Zoom Master.
Yes, District Zoom Master.
District Webmaster.
Yes.
As Webmaster, the current vision, the path that our team is on is that the website at members.d40toastmasters.org will soon be going away. I'm looking at by end of year.
Okay.
I say that here because I would certainly be interested to hear of any arguments against. You can look for the main d40toastmasters.org website to become a membership promotion site in the main. And also the district business will be conducted on a free Toast host type district dedicated website. We don't have club meeting agendas on it, but everyone will recognize who's familiar with free Toast host. The site, I call it the Beehive site because that's where the leaders are going to be going to communicate. And but the two sites will work together. So think of the D40, the main d40toastmasters.org website to draw in people and draw them in from each of their metro areas. So so there will be things in the works so that people from Cincinnati will find this in their Google results. For instance, hey, come to this web page and find out more about Toastmasters in Cincinnati. And that goes for the other metro areas as well, Cincinnati coming first. That's the plan. The two websites will work together somehow. So if you are part of the Beehive, as I'm calling it, you will probably find links to get over to the D40 Free Toast Host site when it's ready for everybody's eyes. So you won't have to know what the link is. You'll see it plenty of times in the in that primary website. So just wanted to share that brief report, mostly for the purposes of getting feedback if you have a vision, anyone here that runs strongly counter to what we're proposing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. D40 Webmaster, Toastmaster John Humpert, par excellence. Thank you. Thank you, John. And awesome work that our public relations team is doing around the website. Got some more kudos coming to you momentarily. Any other announcements from the district council?
Hey, Gene, this is Don. May I make an announcement, please?
Absolutely. Immediate past District Director Don Schultze.
Thank you, Mr. District Director, fellow district council members. Our district director has appointed me as the leadership committee chair for this upcoming year. So I will be looking for two things. First would be committee members from each of the different divisions to serve on the committee. If you know someone who is interested in serving on that committee who would not be interested in a district leadership position next year, please send me an email. You can send it to me at tmdonschulze@gmail.com, and we'll put that in the chat. But we are looking for committee members and starting early this year so we can have even more time for you to be able to review our candidates for district leadership, as well as to be able to have the district candidates prepare their bios, et cetera, to get that information to everybody. So again, I'm looking to have committee members from each of the divisions as soon as possible, and more to follow on future announcements. Thank you, Mr. District Director.
And thank you, immediate past District Director Schultze. Let's hear it for our district leadership chair. Couple announcements that I have, just to reiterate, as I mentioned earlier, to look for area director slots. We have 3 available, again, in Division G, and then also 2 in Division G, and then 1 in Division H. So I want to make those announcements clear. If you know Toastmasters who would like to step up and or may be your assistants now, who may have an inkling to learn a little bit more, it takes someone to plant the seed. And that's how most of us have got here, or have reached this point. Someone took the time to plant a seed of potential, of belief within us. And this is an opportunity for 3 Toastmasters. And then also the audit committee chair. We're going to reiterate that till we get an audit committee chair. I would ask now our program quality director to come back on and just highlight the next 2 items, the district conference and what we're planning to do virtually with the fall recognition ceremonies. Please welcome our program quality director, Mr. David Hill, Toastmaster David Hill.
Thank you so much, Gene. For the district conference, I'd like to turn it over to our conference chair, Distinguished Toastmaster Tracy Baker. Tracy, are you out there?
Yes, sir. Mr. District Director, Mr. Program Quality Director, and everybody on the line today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Tracy Baker. I'm loud. I do things the way I do them, but I'm hyped and hyped and hyped about this conference that we're putting on next year. And it is virtual. We're 7 months away, and it's going to be outstanding. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great. So on behalf of our Division A Director, the distinguished Toastmaster, Mano Varatharaj, welcome to Dayton, Ohio, and welcome to Valuing Our Virtues in a Virtual Space. We are going to have so much fun for this conference. It's going to be incredible. And yes, you heard right. It's going to be 100% virtual, online, all day, all night. Friday, we're going to start off with a bang with our Program Quality Director, David Hill. He's going to have a program that night. It's going to be fun. On Saturday, we're going to start off with a nice little keynote. We're going to have an opening ceremony. And immediately after that, and this is all tentative, we are going to have the business meeting up front on Saturday morning so we can knock it out, so we can concentrate the rest of the time on having some fun educational workshops. And then in the evening, we're going to have our wonderful international speech contest. After that, we're gonna do probably a little bit of socializing. The next morning on Sunday, we're gonna get up, we're gonna have some speech or something in the morning, and we're gonna have our evaluation contest. So it's going to be great. I will tell you that right now, we are looking for people to help. We are several months out, so we're actually doing all the planning now. Since we're not doing it in person, we're gonna do some things differently. So this is a whole new world. This is a whole new ball game, but the way we're gonna make it work is if we have everybody involved. All of the wonderful area directors down here at Division A, all the folks on the program quality team, everybody has to be involved. Now, before I conclude, and we will have a website that's put together, we'll have all the information out. If you need to get a hold of me, I'm dtmtracybaker@gmail.com. I'll drop that in the box. I will tell you that I'm never too old to learn and be motivated and mentored. I have a mentor, distinguished Toastmaster Keith Allen. And Keith, this past couple of weeks ago, we had to pay tribute to one of our fallen heroes, Curtis Stout, who was out of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So he had me play a little bit of music. So in honor of that, I'm gonna play a little bit of music to cap this thing off and tell you what we're gonna do. First of all, we wanna be starting something with this new virtual platform. And on Friday night, or whenever we're gonna have a social thing, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, dance, dance like David danced. And I just can't wait to see you all. I can't wait to see your beautiful smiling faces. And you know what's even better? We didn't start this fire, but you know what? It's gonna burn, baby. And the final thing is, all you have to do to be involved is say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. So fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, be ready for this wonderful, 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 wonderful event. Look out for me. Look out for distinguished Toastmaster David Hill. Look out for Donnie Cryer, my assistant. She did this in 2013. So between the 5 or 6 of us, this is going to be great again. So fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, have a great day. I turn control back over to our wonderful program quality director, David Hill.
Got to give it to you. Thank you so much, Tracy. 2 things. One, you got a little dirt on your head, and you should have played Who Let the Dogs Out so that everybody would have known what was going on. Just a little jab between Tracy, Gail, and Jean, because, you know, they know my team. Anyway, but I really like your enthusiasm. I'm super excited about our district conference. The reason we decided, ladies and gentlemen, to do it virtually, the quad just sat back and looked at how things are today, looking at how we're getting ready to go into flu season, how there still isn't any vaccine, and then ultimately, once we come out of flu season, how many people really would want to meet in person? It was a hard decision, but think about it this way. We always, always, always are thinking of our members first. And that's foremost in our thoughts all the time. And that's why we decided to make it virtual. It gives Tracy Baker and his team an opportunity to focus solely on doing this virtual platform. They don't have to worry about trying to do both. And it gives us the opportunity to have more people attend this conference than ever before. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a great time. I'm super excited to see what Tracy and his team comes up with, along with the things that we are doing. And thank you, Bertina. Yes, I see that. Just wanted to say. But thank you so much, everyone. Now I'd like to move over to our fall recognition ceremony. All of our division directors are working very hard right now, ladies and gentlemen, with preparing this fall recognition ceremony. We are going to have 2 educational sessions, and right now we're still working on having a presentation. We did have our past international director, Carol Prahinsky, scheduled to do a presentation, but unfortunately she will not be attending. We are going to look to have someone else come in. The award ceremony is going to be great. The division directors are actually going to pass out any awards they have. We will be recognizing, as you can see all the award recipients. You have your Triple Crown, Level Up, those awards for sure. And then we're going to really highlight the other awards. We'll start off with the Club President of the Year. We will then go to the Area Directors of the Year. We have 2. The Division Director of the Year, the Toastmaster of the Year, and then the new thing that we have implemented, started last year, is the Club, Toastmaster Club of the Year. And this really was something that I thought about as the Club Growth Director. I feel like we have clubs that go above and beyond year in and year out. Even though I've been in Toastmasters 5 years, I've seen clubs that really work hard and just go above and beyond. So I thought, what better way to start recognizing clubs than have a Club of the Year? And we'll have our first one this year. Everyone will know who it is on October 17th. And then lastly, we're going to re-implement the Ruth Whistler Award. This is something that we'll make sure that we're going to do on a continual basis. The Ruth Whistler Award is for that Toastmaster who volunteers his or her service over and above and just does it out of the sheer willingness, just like how Ruth did. Every year we knew that Ruth was always the assistant district director. She knew everything that was going on throughout the district, and she had no problem doing it. And I'm proud to say that Gene Bailey, Don DeHoff, and Steve Lanham, we thought it would be great to re-implement this, and we're looking forward to giving it to our second recipient since this award has come out. We're going to have a great time on the 17th. I want to thank all of our division directors who are working hard at this. They voted to have just one instead of having several ones. And I think that's a great thing because we're all trying to not take up everyone's time. And with that, I'd like to close. Again, I want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you for being on this call and taking time out. I'd like to turn it back over to our district director and future Browns fan, Gene Bailey.
Oh, let's hear it for our program quality director, Toastmaster David Hill. Now, he left me a door open, so you know I have to walk through it. Only the creativity of Steeler Nation could create such a dynamic conference coming up. We have to, pun intended, those of you who don't know, I am actually married to a Cleveland Browns fan who grew up in Cleveland. So the pun at our home is our house is, the only time it's divided is Sunday afternoons, 2 times a year on Sunday afternoons. But we do come together in our colleges and university teams. Thank you to our program quality director. Thank you to Tracy, Toastmaster Tracy, and we appreciate you. We appreciate Division A in stepping up to host this all virtual conference. We're looking forward to that. Moving quickly, and we are just at time. Last but not least, upcoming events. And I do want to reiterate or to share and make sure it's on your radar, an event that also our program quality team is working on, and that's coming up November 7th and I believe November 21st. We will be conducting district officer training virtually. And it's important that all area directors, all division directors, and other members of the district executive council attend these very important events. It's a great way to introduce our guests to Toastmasters as well and add knowledge to the growing list of things our members are learning, and also conduct officer training as a benefit to our officers and clubs. Club officer training will be scheduled in the divisions by division directors Stay tuned to our program quality team and to your division director as you're scheduling these club officer trainings. These sessions have the ability to really help our officers reap the most out of their Toastmaster dues. And it's really up to each of us as members to get out of this Toastmasters journey what we establish for our vision and our goals. Before I adjourn, I want to recognize, and I always, when we're speaking, I want to recognize some key individuals. As I mentioned earlier, we would not be here if it weren't for those who have deposited within us and who have believed in us. And so I want to recognize all of our past district officers who are present, all of our past district governors, all of our past district directors, all of our past international directors who are on the line as well. We appreciate you, and we thank you for your guidance and your instruction. I'm excited about our future, and it's because of the groundwork, the road that you have paved for us. And so we don't take it lightly that you have committed time and you committed your vision to building District 40. So as I adjourn, I would like to thank all of the officials and delegates for conducting our business in an orderly fashion. Thank you to our parliamentarian, Jim Vogley, for your wisdom. Christine Ross, District Administration Manager, for your attention to detail. Thank you to our timer, Assistant District Director, Lisa Lee, and everyone who operated in a courteous and efficient manner. Special thanks to Toastmasters John Humpert and Rick Seabree. Thank you, Rick. We appreciate you stepping forward as well. Thank you for the entire Public Relations Manager team. Thank you, Steve. We appreciate that. And as we said earlier, we will continue the voting through a week from today, September 26th, close of business, September 26th. That will be, we'll make that 11:59 on September 26th, a week from today. There being no other business, I will now adjourn the meeting.
Just housekeeping, everyone. If you would like any of the downloads in the chat, please go through your chat, download them now. You won't be able to do it after you leave the meeting. The meeting will stay open for a couple more minutes, and if we give a District 40 cheer for all that has transpired, please let's take a couple seconds and do that. Turn on your cams.
Thank you, John. The table is also in the chat too. I did download that into the chat.
Real good. And the meeting will stay open for just a few minutes. Some of you may find value in also downloading the chat of the meeting. That is possible. Go to your chat window. Toward the bottom, the three dots is actually that you can click, and you will see that you can save the chat. So you might find that to be interesting text. It will not download the attachment files, but it will download the words that people have shared with each other. And feel free to shout out, say hi to each other as long as it's decorous. I won't cut you off. And we'll be hanging out here for just a few more minutes. That's all. Thank you.
Way to go, District 40.
Way to go, District 40. Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Take care, everyone. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.